common question I get asked quite often, like, how do you do all this stuff? How do you find time? How do you like take care of take care of the house, doing multiple side hustles, doing a full-time job, doing so many different things, investing and teaching university, doing consulting. Like, those are the kind of questions I get asked quite often, guys. And my biggest advice to you, if you wanted to become like really, really good, then the key is to become a hustler. So you need to be like creating your own schedule, but also like running your, basically running your balanced life in a way that matters most to you as a person. So, for example, what I do is I try to like regulate my daily life activities as much as possible, because I realize that there's certain activities that I could either overdo or don't do enough of. So the biggest struggle for me for the longest time was trying to find like just approximate good enough of a balance. And once I solved that problem, it was smooth sailing. Out of a sudden, I was able to find new ways of spending less time on addictive things and spending more time on the things that are needed. The true revelation came to me when I listened to Shaolin Monk and learned how to meditate. That was one of the, I'd say, probably prolific experiences. I quickly realized that if I don't prioritize time and don't kind of focus on the things that I should be focusing on, then a lot of time could be spent on unnecessary things. So what I discovered in life is that if you really want to be like really happy, you gotta have like 10 different side hustles, guys. And I wanna, like, if you really want to become a hustler, the biggest tip that I could provide you guys is to always go extra level higher than what you did the day before. If you do that, you will become that hustler. Right now, let me just describe to you my day of how many different side hustles I ended up doing in one day. This is just to give you guys a little bit of motivation, so this way you don't end up getting kind of burnt out. And of course, not everybody can pull this off. It's a you gotta be certain character to pull this off. It's either a, like, people who listen to me and do it either succeed really fast in life or just kind of skip and continue looping. So if you wanted to conquer this skill of being a really powerful hustler, then every single day you need to like meditate. You need to meditate, just like I described in that one of those YouTube videos where I talked about the Shaolin monk and how he was describing how you gotta hold the ground, stay the ground, and all that. Um, there's no way that you're gonna be able to do multiple side hustles if you don't keep yourself grounded, if you don't keep yourself meditated. Because what happens, you could easily go off balance if you start doing too many things, and that can cause detrimental shift in your kind of future you. You will just be constantly looping if you do too much of one thing versus more useful thing. So the best thing that I came across that really helped me to keep the entire journey under control and kind of do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and mix it in a way that makes total sense was because of that meditation, guys. So meditation, if you guys haven't seen Shaolin Monk that I talked about earlier, if you haven't seen his methodologies, then definitely, guys, explore that Shaolin Monk that I talked about for like an hour straight in one of my YouTube videos. What I try to do now I try not to get I try not to make those YouTube videos live unless you are a subscriber. So if you're a subscriber, you would see it, but you wouldn't see it unless you're a subscriber. This works really well for me. I noticed that before I was just releasing everything on public, but now it's only you gotta be a subscriber. So guys, one methodology like this, if you just change that, hello guys, if you change that, it will be a game changer for you guys. But the thing is, the reason why it's not really working for you is because you're not explicitly letting people know that. So you keep looping. How are you? How are you? I actually just got out of. I was doing some picture taking right now. I'm trying to get some food. I started my day at 8 a.m. I went to the city, and while taking the train to the city, was doing a bunch of side hustles. While I'm on the train, and on the way back from the city, jumped into sauna and gym. Then on the way back was doing more side hustles. When I got back, I did even more side hustles for 3 hours teaching in university. As soon as I finished teaching in university, I went to do one more side hustle, and now it's getting close towards the end of the day, and I'm about to get some food. So, and I wanted to let you guys know how to have a strong will, how to become like a strong person, like a powerful will of being able to do that. A lot of people fail to do something like this, um, and kind of just watch Netflix and escape from themselves and don't really become the stronger versions of themselves. But if like if you watch my channel, you're gonna become stronger. You're gonna recognize your failures and your wins through my journey. The only way it's gonna happen is if you admit to yourself, if you truly admit to yourself that you failed in doing everything that, like the first thing that is very important, you gotta admit to yourself that you failed and nothing worked for you. If you make that agreement, that honest determination that you failed, and place that as your first step, that realization that you failed, then you can reach that acceptance phase of that. Now, okay, you failed, now I gotta fix that, I gotta fix the problem. How can I do that? So that acceptance, it may, for some of you, it may take, sometimes I talk to people, it may, for some of them it takes maybe years to reach the acceptance. Sometimes I talk to people with maybe 3 to 4 or 5 years, um, and it's there's I find patterns what drives them to be that way, and when I talk to them, I discover those patterns, and after a few sessions, everything straightens out for them, and they start finally moving towards the second phase. First is a kind of realization and acceptance. That's kind of like the first phase, and the second phase is really beginning to repair yourself. And a lot of people don't know how to do that. They don't know how to repair themselves and what to even do, because of so many. We live in a post-apocalyptic world of AI. There's so many shiny objects. Many folks out there simply like give up. They don't even know what to make money from. They don't believe that it's possible. uh, what I do, I talk to them and have concrete conversations showing them how it is possible, even with basic, really basic side hustles like Uber Eats, taking pictures, doing painting, or anything that you love to do. How truly is possible to have many different side hustles and still enjoy your life, still make money, still finding mutual intersects of reasons across many of them to pick the most optimum side hustle. And when I talk to them, I I see that second chance in their life, because before that they either come across uh, horrible failures where they lost a lot of money in stock market or something, or they lost somebody and they can't move on. So what I do is I help them cross to the next line of finally being that freedom founder versus the process prisoner. And the best thing that I could tell you guys, what helped me, was meditation. I needed to learn the meditation techniques of the Shaolin monk. I had to learn that. Before, nothing was working. The brain was just working too fast, too extra. Like it was just trying to complement for insecurities and fears and all those other elements that I didn't know existed. But then I listened to this monk, the Shaolin monk, and everything cleared up. I was able to hold the posture. I was able to control the outcomes, pick the right side hustles, focus on what needed to be focused on, and felt more confidence versus before it was like all over the place, and like I would just go off tangent, disconnect people from main topic, jump across topics, and it was basically impossible to make a point of any point. And I noticed that, and I was able to squash it with meditation, and the rest was just smooth sailing. Now I'm getting like incredible projects, things that are doing so well. I'm doing multiple side hustles, but you gotta be to be able to pull this off, guys. To be able to do so many side hustles and just have the strong will, you really need like massive amount of training, and somebody literally holding you through the entire process, because like you gotta have a strong will. A lot of people tell you, no, it's all BS. You could still just go ahead and figure it out on your own. Trust me, guys. I tried for like 2 years and kept failing every single day until I discovered meditation, and then it was like smooth sailing. I know it sounds crazy. You could be like the smartest person on planet Earth, but still, if you're missing meditation, you get cooked. Good.
Thank you. Have a good night.
So the greatest discovery came to me from like when I was driving to Pennsylvania. That happened to me 2 weeks ago. I secured a government contract to defend against hackers for police departments. I met somebody when I went there in Pennsylvania. I met like really powerful people. One of the guys was like a right hand of George Bush, the former president. And I never met like anybody before. Like, I mean, I only seen things in movies like that. I never met people in real life like that. So when I went there, I didn't really know what to think, other than like, man, I just can't believe it's me. It's happening to me. Like, why would they want to talk to me? And when I went there, I was contacted by a consultant company who I was basically, I became a consultant for life for one of the companies. And they called me and they said, Rome, we need you to kind of analyze this breach situation and like provide consultation, build a fully blown AI solution. So I drove there. I didn't really think anything more than that. I didn't really think that I'm gonna meet with all those people in uniforms and I'm gonna be kind of providing the entire solution. But then I got so excited by that. I built the fully blown solution in 2 weeks with all the AI and all that other stuff that I talk about. It just felt effortless for me. But when I was driving there, I was like, man, I mean, you get that overwhelming feeling. Like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing that. I I mean, I mean, before I was able to like land big contracts, like J.P. Morgan Chase, big banks, huge banks, and land incredible contracts for consulting companies. I thought to myself, well, how is it different? Maybe like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe when you deal on a government level, it's just such a big deal. So I was so nervous driving there. I was like, man, like, oh my God, you just, can you imagine being in a room full of like people in uniforms and they're all looking up to you like as an expert? And to me, I was like, man, I mean, I can't believe people are actually listening to what I have to say. And for me, for me, it was just like a blissful moment. And at that point, I felt like, man, I don't know what is that, but I feel so nervous going there because I didn't know what to expect. It was just like really incredible moment in my mind. And at that point, I found that Charling Monk on YouTube, and I listened to the guy like who described the whole psychology about like controlling your feelings and doing meditation. And at first, I thought it was kind of like nonsense, to be honest. I didn't really think much about it, but I would just say screw it. I'm gonna give it a try to see if I could kind of maintain my posture and just don't freak out. And yeah, and I meditated and I was able to hold the entire like meeting and clearly explain everything and do the simulation, do the demo. It was just like, man, I just needed that monk to explain it to me. The way he described the whole thing for how when you drive a car, like when you drive a car, you don't really pay attention to people. Like you don't really pay attention to every single car. I mean, you kind of observe it. The way he described it is you're sort of an observer and an observee at the same time. But when you drive, you focus on the road. You don't go off tangent, going like throwing the wheel off and kind of going different directions. You're holding the steering wheel and you going straight. But when like, but you don't just look at other drivers all the time and analyzing every single thing. And that's how I felt like in life, just analyzing other people, overcomplicating things, going so deep into the details. The best way I could kind of describe that is like me being that Gemini model at Google, the advanced one, advanced model, analyzing the hell out of everything. But all I needed was just to be like Gemini Flash model. Just fast, not overthinking, and straight to the point. But you don't get that. You don't get that experience. You don't get that pleasure. You don't get that feeling if you are a genius. If you're a borderline genius, you don't get that feeling of simplicity. You always want to do overcomplicate things. But listening to this monk, man, I was just able to finally like practice what he told me about just like holding the wheel and breathing in and breathing out. And I was able to replicate his exercises using contrast and comparison to whatever it is that I'm trying to present, whatever I'm trying to do, and hold the control of the entire presentation, an entire demo, while kind of just explaining the solutions effortlessly. And it felt like I don't know, it felt like, man, I don't even know how to explain that. It just felt incredible. Now, I know some of you want to become powerful side hustlers. You want to have a strong will. You want to have somebody to explain to you, like, how does it work? You see, guys, like for the longest time, I would be listening to all sorts of astrophysicists, but all I had to do was just listen once, to a Shaolin monk. As crazy as it's, as bonkers as it sounds. I cannot explain to you why that is. I just know that this is something that worked for me. It doesn't mean that I don't listen to astrophysicists or neuroscientists or anthropologists or incredible podcasts out there. That doesn't mean that I just give up on that. No, I definitely listen to them. Heck, I listened to some guy talking about heaven and what happens after life. I listened for like, man, I couldn't even fall asleep. I was listening for so long. The next morning, I kind of got cooked from over listening to that. And today, I went to the city. While going to the city, I would be hustling. On the way back from the city, I would be hustling. When I got back from the city, I would be hustling. And then after I finished hustling, I went for some more hustling. So at the end of the day, guys, um, yeah, you sound very peaceful, my friend. Thank you, thank you. Guys, before I was really nervous, I was really peaceful. I felt like man, like you guys, like this is what made a huge difference for me. Man, if I, that's probably gonna be in my bucket list now. Going to Tibet or somewhere crazy, like super peaceful place. Because I didn't know, I had no idea that it can just like boom, mental shift like that, right away. Like man, this is. I know people talk about drugs and like Adderall and all sorts of like things that could help, but I mean, I never took any of those drugs. Uh, Maybe I should have. I don't know. But I mean, I don't know. I never took them. I just listened to that Shaolin monk, and boom, right away, it's better than a drug. I mean, but of course, some of you will say, well, why not some Neurogum or some of that other stuff? I never actually take any of that stuff. For me, it's just, I don't know. I never really was into that. Uh, I just never really thought, like, I didn't really believe that this was like anything. I thought it was just normal. I thought it's like, okay, everybody's like me, borderline geniuses. I didn't, I didn't think, I didn't think I was so unique. And later I realized that, oh my God, like I'm building all those solutions, going out all those places, whipping out insane, incredible solutions. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, how come I'm not doing this? Like, I should be spending insane amount of money. Why am I doing all this and not even doing it for my best version of myself? Just kind of doing it for the hell of it. Nah, I gotta change that. I gotta stop playing around. I gotta do something better. I didn't expect that meditation is just gonna be. It's such a weird thing, such a random thing. I mean, why? Out of a sudden, like, I mean, I could have watched any other YouTube video out there, but I watched Shaolin monks, like a Shaolin monk, the Shaolin monk who explained everything. He described like all the thoughts coming in as clouds, and they come and go, and like he gives so many comparison, guys. I did like an hour and a half describing what he uh, described, and I I don't have words for that other than if you want to be a really powerful side hustler in, or heck, like it doesn't even matter if it's a side hustle or anything, full-time job or anything. If you truly wanted to control the balance between physical, between spiritual, between professional, passionate, then damn, like I only wish I knew about the meditation because there's I didn't know that like maybe before it wasn't such a big deal for me meditation because I thought okay maybe I'm not that smart, uh, like why do I need meditation for? But once you get really when you have a lot of thoughts, guys, and you do that meditation, you just get stuff done, like a lot of stuff done. You no longer feel like oh man, like you're procrastinating things and thinking like man, I don't know if I should do that, man, I kind of don't want to do that, screw it. The next thing you know, that procrastination kind of gets carried over into your like professional life, and you don't want that. You want to squash stuff out quickly. Luckily, it didn't get to that point for me with the professional life, but in other things, in other endeavors, yeah, I was getting stuck, like a loop, like a process prisoner, constantly, like a squirrel running in a Ferris wheel, constantly, nonstop, trying to find like a way to make money. And I'm like, man, there gotta be a way. There gotta be a way. Like, what kind of side hustle? There's so many different side hustles, but why? Why do I feel like it's impossible to do anything? Like, I don't know. And for the longest time, it was nothing. It had nothing to do with being impossible. It was just too many thoughts in too many different directions, not groundified. As soon as I solved that problem, immediately I started seeing traction. And I don't mean like I went ahead and I got made like $1 million or something. No, I'm talking about like basic everyday traction, more peacefulness, more less kind of uh, egocentric point of views, more, I want to say peacefulness again. It's a beautiful feeling, guys. Like, it's a beautiful feeling. Yeah, I watched a couple of podcasters out there as well, uh, that talked about what happens when you die, and also if you incorporate that in your life, like to think that you're not here forever, uh, then you become. It starts helping you. It starts helping you. At first, I was like, man, how's that gonna start helping me? But then I started incorporating that, and out of a sudden, I became even more peaceful. Then I combined the Shaolin monk, and I'm like, man, combination of like multiple podcasters that I watch and using their tricks really produces really good results. I mean, now of course you got to do more than just kind of listen to the podcasters. You have to be uh, executing as well. And a lot of people don't get to the execution phase. But for me, I'm like a soldier, except I'm executing too many different things. That was the problem. Now, if you guys want to see my latest inventions that I was able to come up with recently, just with that clear mind, I do have a beautiful, beautiful OS called Feudal OS that I was able to build. It makes it possible for you to organize your life, your personal, professional, and, and passionate endeavors using nothing but OpenClaw. And what I was able to do, I was able to create like a, I was able to synthesize my life, my passionate activities, personal, professional, with OpenClaw in a way that it just finds the mutual intersects of reasons, mutual dots of reasons for what matters most for me and anybody who's involved with me, um, and precisely executes them. So instead of me wondering which side hustle I should pick, OpenClaw does it for me. So I called it Feudal OS, and I talk to it through Telegram. I give it a voice as well. It's absolutely bonkers. It synthesizes my professional side hustles, consulting, university work, my full-time job, uh, my side hustles. It synthesizes, and I set up the guardrails. Synthesizes from the perspective of, like, instead of me thinking of the mutual benefits and reasons for what I should be doing across all those different activities that I'm doing, AI does it for me now. And not only does it do it for me, and not only does it think of what to do for me, but it actually does it. This works really well when you have side hustles like consulting, when you do university teaching, and have a talent agency, and have mutual intersects of reasons across all of them, except you're not actively thinking about what to offer to your clientele. OpenClaw is doing that synthesis, analysis, and measurement, and constantly adding the next task, and doing it. I give I created a couple of incredible simulations and demos for a consulting project for multiple police departments, and that was Feudal OS doing it, and I just kind of communicated with it while driving in a car. I would just talk to it, and I would just build fully blown simulations. At first, I created like a PowerPoint to present my entire cybersecurity solution for multiple police departments. Then after that, I went further. I was like, man, why am I even presenting to people? Why not let AI present to people? And, and I built that. I built a layer. I started stacking intelligence on top of intelligence and measuring its effectiveness. And there's no way in hell that I would be able to come up with anything remotely near to this if I didn't have a clear mind to be able to pull this off. Sheesh. I mean, now the days we live in, guys, man, like, if you have a clear mind, guys, you can literally do almost anything. And of course, I mean, this is what I chose to do. I teach in university, I do consulting, and I just got back from doing some side hustles, taking pictures. And once in a while, I may tutor math. Once in a while, I may do kitchen countertops or HVC or any other kind of blue collar work. But at the end of the day, um, I mean, the best part about the Shaolin monk is that I learned how to load balance it all. So if we really want to have a powerful side hustling mentality, then meditation is the number one thing that I could recommend to you guys.